Hey guys, welcome back to Red Dwarf. My name is Jorge Guerra.
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
And today we're going to be reviewing Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
And Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the second in this series of Planet of the Apes movies. Starting with, what was the other one? Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Mm-hmm. So now it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And anyways, if you've seen that movie, this kind of continues with the lead, monkey from the first one. I can't believe we're talking about it like that, but all right. So there's a monkey as a lead named Caesar, right?
Simeon, Sergio.
Simeon, whatever. Anyways, there's a monkey on screen for pretty much 2 hours, right? And so, anyways, if you kind of know a little bit about the first movie, even if you don't, they kind of recap really quickly at the beginning of this one. There was some experimentation going on with these monkeys that eventually led to Caesar kind of becoming a little bit more of a brainiac, being able to understand, and he was already like really smart, and there's all this kind of stuff backstory. If you want, you can watch the first one if you haven't already. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to for this. This story just follows Caesar and the rest of his brethren and how they've grown since the end of the last movie, after they went kind of into hiding in the forest, and they've developed a society, and it's kind of like a just society, and it's very kind of like an honorable society where like ape does not kill ape, and so anyways, you have that, and then of course you got the humans that come in afterwards, and the evil humans who destroyed themselves and all that, now want more power, which happens to be in a dam that these guys have made their home in. So there's the conflict right there, right? The apes don't trust the humans, especially this one ape who was experimented on before. And the humans, of course, don't trust apes because they're animals and they don't know what's going on. So, without giving away too much that hasn't been given away in the trailer, kind of a war erupts, and then you're kind of like left wondering, okay, who am I going to root for? The humans, the apes, the beautiful apes, or whatever. Anyways, so that's pretty much what the movie is. What did you think about it?
As far as the movie goes, I liked it. I thought the CGI was really well done. Of course, we saw it in 3D, which I don't think really added much, in my opinion. But as far as the story goes, I thought it flowed really well. It did play into the part of, like, in part one, you have Caesar, which is the main character, and the guy who's kind of going against him, and it really plays on the fact that they both saw two different sides of humanity. Caesar seeing more of a friendly side since he was brought up being taught by them, and the other guy just being an experiment until I just saw like this evil part of them. So you kind of get that throughout the whole story, and it flows really well. It's really focused on the whole ape part, so the whole ape part story. I was sort of the whole human part kind of felt a little thrown away sometimes, but all in all, the story still flowed well. I enjoyed the characters. The little intricacies that they do in the CGI with just like the way they emote feeling with the apes without really having to say much is really well done. I will say that about it. So it was enjoyable. For me personally, it was a little slow at parts, but I think as far as for the feel of the movie, it went pretty well. What did you think?
Well, I wasn't looking forward to this movie because I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I thought the first one was just very, very boring. And, I still have something about just, the whole CG aspect of it. I love makeup and all that in the old movies. It wasn't like, groundbreaking stuff compared to things that are being done now, but it definitely was back then, and it's pretty awesome. So anyways, I was a little biased. But aside from the beginning, which starts off pretty slow and it's kind of slow, a little bit boring, it actually picks up and it gets very, very entertaining. And like George was saying, the CG is so good, you start following, or being led by the emotions of the apes, which are the characters. So once it picks up, it kind of like keeps going, keeps you moving right along. My least favorite part of it was the fact that they had to make a transition, I guess, as far as like the movie went, where at the beginning they kind of like the apes talking is kind of like strange or weird, and it looks like Caesar might be like one of the few that can do it and all that, so there's a lot of like sign language that is used by the apes, and a lot of subtitles for it, and the thing is that in the span of the time that they're there, to me it seemed like all of a sudden most of the apes can talk like fairly, like at least like a little bit better than a small child, so then why didn't they just do that from the beginning instead of kind of like trying to ramp it up? That was really the only thing. So and the reason I say that is because it kind of falls into the whole believability of it, since the main story is about the apes and the main characters are pretty much the apes. Then you got CG and these other things that are kind of like working to make it real, and at the beginning to me it felt shaky, but it does pick up. It does become very believable, where like I said, you kind of go through the emotions with the apes. You kind of see a lot of them as people, and the CG really brought in the performances. So I think you can definitely get behind the story and enjoy it very much. So I actually came out of there liking the movie, a lot more than I thought I was going to like it, Plus it's pretty exciting actually a couple of times.
So what would you give it?
Well, as far as a rating, I think I would probably give this movie a 7.5. And mostly because it is a little slow at the beginning, but it's still a very enjoyable film. If you let yourself get carried away by these characters, you're gonna have a good time, and and it's a little corny at times as far as the story, Caesar and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that play into that. So it's every now and then it just kind of like knocks you back out into reality, but it's fun and enjoyable. I think almost anybody can like it, even some kids, although it could get a little scary for them every now and then because there's monkeys with machine guns. That's scary to anybody, Yeah. So but I enjoyed it. That's what I'd give it. What about you?
I actually would go with a 7 for this movie, just because I did enjoy the CGI. I thought it was awesome. Andy Serkis, of course, is awesome at motion capture. He does Gollum as well, and I thought, that was done really well, really good. But just for me, like it felt a little flat, especially maybe it was a lack of language. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was a lack of actual words. But it for me it just really fell flat on the human side. And even knowing that's not the main meat of the story, it just felt like they could have done away with it, or there's just stuff in there that I thought was a little meh, and it just didn't really. It made me actually detach from the story more than go into it more. As far as it was like, for me it felt a little more like how a-holes ruin everything for everybody. But like it felt like that sometimes. So but yeah, I would go with about a 7. But if you're a fan of the franchise, or if you're a fan of the movies, or the first one, and then you more than likely you'll like this one. But again, let us know what you guys thought. As always, down in the comments down below. As always, thank you for watching and subscribing, all that good all the good stuff or whatever. But again, my name is Jorge Guerra.
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
And have a good one. Bye.